All right, let's watch one more video for this one. You guys have done a great job submitting it. We will watch. This is actually a pretty. There have been some bangers, guys. We really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. We actually have an old interview of the Odd One with Pluto, who was an early interviewer, and so he's having drinks with him.
He has mega ginger hair.
This is Pluto? Here with
I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. It's 15 minutes long, but we can at least start. This is at PAX 2012. Watch I was actually at this event. So this was the North American finals, I believe, the regionals before Worlds.
How's your Long Island iced tea?
I can actually get this.
It's very strong. Actually.
Yeah, people don't know. Basically,
you're old enough to do this, right?
This is the guy that sort of Shops replaced. Like this was one of the main interviewer people in the scene at the time.
Yeah, and he worked for Curse at the time, and he ended up working with Twitch for a long time. Not
here with
the Odd One,
and this is Drinks with the Odd One. Watch this.
He was pretty funny.
He was all right. Like put it this way, he was at least trying to have a personality compared to like a lot of the boring people back then.
How's your Long Island iced tea?
Strong.
It's very strong, actually. Ridiculously strong. You're old enough to do this, right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Dude, the thing I'll never be able to get past with the Odd One is just that story of him getting scurvy from eating those like microwave meals.
Like, and now you are Canadian.
Because dude, if you just look at him, he looks like his body's had no nutrition ever. It's like ridiculous. Like,
Canada, half Scottish.
Come on, mate.
Half Scottish, half Chinese, and full jungler is where you are.
The obvious joke being that his problem, Monte, is that he played jungle.
Now,
if he'd have played top lane, he could have played
don't really need any introduction whatsoever. You're the Odd One.
Using the oranges.
You are the jungler.
There were so many jokes at the time.
What's it called?
What's it called? There were so many jokes about that. Sorry about that.
It's a bit of a reach, but whatever.
Top? Team solo top?
Team solo mid. #1.
Team duo bot?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Well, TSM, Team Solo Mid, you guys took a decisive victory against Dignitas today on day 3 of the North American Regionals. How do I put it like lightly without offending anyone? You guys shit on them.
Yes.
Thoughts?
I miss when esports interviews were like this.
Shit on them, then they just took it. And it was over.
But this way, even though we didn't see it, I know another thing that Moscow 5 got in trouble for a bunch of times, Monty, is because that was the era when, especially if you're coming from Russia, they would just do interviews that were like, yeah, we raped them, basically. And then people in the West would go, oh, and then they're not knowing what they've said wrong, so they're just like saying it again or whatever. Like, yeah, we just raped them. We are raping them, basically. Like,
it's just so interesting to go back and look at this. I mean, I wish interviews were like this right now.
It's because, like you say, it's just an
Odd One just said we shit on them and they just took it.
Put it this way, Monty. This is where you won't know this, but this is where you have to find people who quit at the right time. So I did an interview recently on my YouTube channel with a guy who used to be the Dignitas in-game leader in CSGO before Carrigan took over and they became Astralis, which was the guy called Fetish, right? And because he retired from active play around like 2015 or something, Monty, and he hasn't been on camera since then, think about the age cutoff of what I'm saying there again, like all the politics shit was like 2016 onwards, right? So because he stopped then, Monty, when we did this reflections now, he's like coming, it's like he's like California man, like it's like he's just thawed out from being in like Jurassic age, and he's just a guy now from that age, and he doesn't know about all the political correct stuff in the meantime because he's a Danish guy as well. If you don't know, Danes are like way spicier than Swedes. They like have a quite dark humor and they're like lots of like naughty, dark, edgy humor, right? And so I did this interview, and not only does he also say something like we raped them in practice or something, later on when I ask him about like I ask him about like Dupree or something, he says that like, oh, I think Dupree at one point in time was having a problem with his girlfriend, and he references the fact that Device had that like Swedish influencer that he was dating that he had the problems with, and he goes, I think she was also Swedish. Bloody Swedish bitches. And it's like what's mad is back then that wouldn't even raise an eyebrow, but when I'm doing it now, like mate, I like barely keep it together on camera. Like my poker face has to be really good, like because I also don't want to seem like, you know, I'm like agreeing with it. It's like that's actually bad to fucking hell. But like I say, it's like you just came out of a time capsule, mate. Like, bro, we're not doing that anymore, I'm afraid. Like, you know.
But I mean, the funny thing is, you know, Thorin, is that this is the kind of content that made people like the Odd One really popular, and this kind of content going away is actually one of the reasons, because the whole influencer culture, people, the XQC jokes and all the drama and like all the honesty and the bluntness, is why people like a lot of those streamers today. And that's why the cultural shift has happened. And if you want to know why LCS isn't as popular, it's because we don't have drinks interviews with the Odd One where he just says we shit on them and they took it.
Oh, it was a way more raw scene back then. It was awesome. Like you said, the flavor of the scene was super strong.
Lost. I don't even understand.
It's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It's like they're into like that kind of stuff, you know, like they're into like poop stuff.
Yeah, they just took it. It was like, nom, 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 nom. I love this shit.
This is already turning out to be the greatest interview I think I've ever done. You've been a
Implies
prolific
they have a
juggler
scat
for a long
fetish.
time, and you've been a
Amazing.
prolific streamer as well. You pull numbers that are outrageous, like 20,000, 30,000. What's the most viewers you've ever gotten concurrently?
Actually, I think it was like 29 something.
Like, guys,
huge
just,
back in the
just
day.
bear in mind, he just said he had 29,000 viewers. LCS,
Son of a
the
bitch. I
broadcast
was trying to play
sometimes has
Toe Jam and Roll for
50k
12
now.
hours and you fucked it up.
He had 29 just
Yeah,
himself
nah,
streaming
my
fucking
kid
jungle
popped in
in like
I mean,
20
he
minutes
was-
or whatever it is.
He was
Now,
crazy popular back in the day, and 29,000 concurrents was
really
huge
deal with
back
that
then.
success, but how have you
Oh,
come
mate,
to
think
like
of what the
kinda
CPMs
just
were back then. You'd be
accept
making
the fact
legit
that
fucking money.
Everyone knows you and everyone watches your stream out there. Liquid,
Sadly,
get this
this
shit
was
outta
just
here.
like
He's
a
drunk.
window that
Liquid's drunk.
closed, though.
Everyone,
There was
Liquid's
an era
drunk. Hold on,
back
wait,
then
we're
when
gonna have a
like
surprise
everyone on
interview with
TSM got
Cop
all this insane
as well.
viewership, and they all
Cop, how's it
thought
feel to be
like
fourth place?
they could just retire as pros and just do this forever. Like everyone actually believed that back then.
Cop, how's it feel to be fourth place?
Dude, look how young Steve Arnett looked there. Look,
Yeah, and he also Pluto was
Holy
just saying
shit.
like he was just saying that Steve was really drunk. He said Liquid is really drunk because
You just had
just
so
walked
much
around the bottle
Oh
of
my god, we
Captain
just got
Morgan.
bombed by Liquid. Leave. We'll edit that out. No, we won't.
because obviously if people don't know,
Staying
back then
in.
there was no Team Liquid, it was Team Curse.
So
that's why he's
20 to
around.
30,000 viewers on your
Right.
stream.
That's like his boss,
How do
basically.
you stay so entertaining?
I don't know. I'd say be yourself, but most people are boring. So
That's a
it's
pretty
like,
good joke.
You just gotta entertain it. Like, if you were watching a stream, like, what would you want to watch? Like, unless I grow,
Probably boobies.
yeah, unless I grow tits. Gotta be
Also a great
entertaining
line,
somehow, so-
hilarious line. Can't say it
that,
now,
like,
but again, hilarious
$6,000
line.
you just won. You
It's a
could
good
get
joke.
boob job.
This
Yeah,
interview is
I'd
actually
probably
very
like
funny.
50k viewers. It'd be pretty badass. But
Imagine odd one with tits. No?
no,
How big would you go?
Jesus.
I don't know if I'd go C or D.
You go D? You go
I mean,
big?
no one knows what those
Go big or go
letters
home, right?
mean. Let's not even
Yeah,
pretard like we
yeah.
all do.
Okay.
As
C
far as I
or
know,
D.
we're
Well,
all
you
off
heard
on
it
that
here
shit,
first.
so
Odd one's
don't
going to
worry
get breast
about it.
implants that are C or D in size, and he's going to continue
No one knows what
chugging
that
his
means.
Long
No one knows
Island.
what the
Look
cup
at
size
that. Just
means,
what a
man.
man.
Just make the
Now,
number large. And then
as far as
say
the
gay
games
or
are concerned today,
whatever. That's all
you
do.
played a mean Shyvana and a mean Skarner. Was there a reason you picked
Holy
that Skarner? 'Cause I know
shit! I just
Dominic really
realized
enjoys to play,
why did
playing Skarner.
Shyvana just
He
never
has,
ever come back into
played
the
it
League of
really
Legends?
well.
That
He
was an
stole
awesome show
Barons
back in the
from
day.
TD like
Old
in a row
champion
at
design.
Monte.
It was
He's
Those
a
Apollo
really
back
good
in the day,
smite
wasn't it?
stealer. He's a
Yeah,
really
What a
good
it was
cool
sniper.
great.
He's a really
concept, the
good player
ultimate we
overall.
go the back line.
Do you
that
fear him
was the
whatsoever
shit,
in the
wasn't it?
jungle, or do you
But then
just
just
kind
went
of
away and never ever
always
came
zone
back
out,
ever?
do your
I mean, a
own
lot of the
thing,
mobility
help your
creep,
team,
I
and
think,
then not
made
really
her
worry
just
about
kind of
it.
Sure.
useless. She's been strong in solo queue recently,
Actually,
but
compared to a lot
That was
of
definitely a
jungles
fun
right
champ to
now.
watch for sure. Jungle and top.
The first game it was just a matchup that which anyone that goes
I'm just
red
skipping
buff first
forward.
against Skarner,
we don't
basically
need
can't
game
run
stuff.
away. So Skarner was the perfect pick.
Now, the only game
I'm
you
gonna
guys dropped,
play
just a little
Shyvana
shout out to
jungle
Curse,
after
of
I
course,
finish
it
watching this.
dropped.
Just for
How did you guys actually drop
nostalgia
that game?
purposes.
For nostalgia,
You guys
it's actually not
predicted,
bad
and we're
right
pretty
now.
hyped up. You guys were like 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 the whole time.
assume we just
And
build
you go
tank as
2-1
usual.
against Curse, who is, just kind of a fourth seed scrub, right?
Good, Nulkers, so good. Number
Oh,
one
you
team
can
ever.
you can play AP. Nice.
How did that game
Yep,
do?
you can play AP.
Seemed like
She
a
does
guy
a
of
huge
many
bad damage.
emotions, so I bet you just
It's now
won
into
anyway.
Shyvana.
Usually, yeah, it was pretty good, yeah.
You ever show many emotions?
I guess when I stream, but otherwise it's like,
The weird thing about the odd one always is he
We
does
need a
that
few
thing
more
where
Long
like
Islands
it's almost
in
like his
for you to show
teeth
some
are
emotion.
always together.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Just talking like
Okay,
this,
now
guys. I
at
can
the World
try-
Championships,
you're
it's
not-
going to be in Los Angeles.
It's like he's actually a ventriloquist dummy.
And
And Reginald's just behind
I think
him.
I'm getting my
Like-
dates right.
Well, no, the
I
joke
think
is he'd
so.
have to be the ventriloquist. I
You
guess,
guys are going to be
wouldn't he?
matched up against the best
And then
teams in the
Reginald would
world.
have to be
You guys are going to be
talking.
matched against CLGEU, Moscow 5, SK, and then all the Asian teams as well.
That's just fun to hear
Are
him
you
talk
guys
about the best
scared
teams in the
of those
world.
teams
Well, what I
whatsoever?
love
mean, you
is
played against
because
the
this
Super Blaze
guy's
in
from
the New
America,
York
guys,
Summer
doing
Arena,
LCS.
but
Well, it wasn't even
the EU
LCS.
style
then.
is still,
He didn't even
different.
reference
Like,
any
each region
actual
has their own
Asian
little
team. He
tricks
just
and
said
idiosyncrasies.
the
Are
best
you
teams in
scared
the
of
world,
any
like
of the
SK
teams in the
Gaming,
world?
CLGU, and then he goes, and all those Asian teams.
He did say he said a Super Blaze because they had played in
Oh,
New
right,
York.
he did
the
say that
MLG
one,
Center
fair
Arena.
enough.
Yeah, he just
Scared,
asked
I
about
think.
that one. But
He
yeah,
did
it's
just
just-
forget, Frost,
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
Will
Curse
Delete,
is in
pretty
there,
good
so
take,
it's like,
Type
oh,
A
no problem,
Assassins,
dude.
he didn't forget all those squads.
But yeah, I don't know. The Russians are always scary. You never know what they do. Like they train years for this. I'm pretty sure Mos 5's like in their hideout right now, training for this.
Are you guys going to be like
That
the
was
Rocky
obviously a
Balboa to
famous
their
thing that
Ivan
they were
Drago?
really good at boot camps, so people don't know.
Yeah, they
we're
boot
gonna
camped
try to
really
do
hard,
that.
for
Like,
sure.
We got our ass. We're like a Apollo at Kiev. We just got killed. killed. It's pretty
What a
bad.
freaking mental
Guys got
analogy that
killed.
is.
Dude, nothing is better than Rocky references with the Odd One. This is Pluto and Odd One movie talk. Stick around.
I mean,
for a
all
little
I'll
while.
say is this:
So
this guy
you
is
guys
better
gonna
than
take
Travis
down
Interview, let's
the
be
home
real.
trained
He's got
Ivan
way
Drago
better on-camera
with your Rocky
presence and
Balboa
demeanor,
punching
you know.
meat in a locker techniques.
I hope
It's a similar
so, or
style
else
of
it'd be a
interviewing, to
pretty
be fair.
shitty movie when we die at the end. Like,
If Rocky died at the end, it would be the shittiest movie I've ever seen. You guys didn't pull out anything that was like super secret or incredible. You guys
Also, you have to
that
remember,
you would like to maybe tell the
if you
entire
look,
world on camera?
technically, the odd one has drunk half a Long Island
we
iced
don't
tea.
do, like,
Long
new
Island
stuff.
iced teas
Like,
are
typically,
usually
our
quite
first
strong.
name is
alcohol.
Dick. We
And
actually
he
just
probably
copied
does
you
weigh
guys.
90 pounds.
We just
So
we
Yes.
literally just
if you just
dab Luda
calculate
made and then
blood
just pounded
alcohol,
on
like
and then
levels,
just
he
shit
must
on
be
it.
It's like
It's
it's
more
like
than
3 or
rice,
4 shots of
like,
alcohol
once
and
again,
then like
they're
some
so good.
lemonade and Coke.
We just copy
Because
what
if
they
you
did
remember
before.
famously, that's
Do everything that
because it's
Kurtz
called the
does
Long
and you
Island
win
iced tea.
your
That's how
first
you like
place,
troll
right?
people who
Just
don't know
got
about
unlucky.
drinks.
Thought
You
I
just
did.
tell them like, "Oh, get one of
Sorry,
these.
dude.
It's
Sorry,
got like tea in it or whatever." And the
I
joke
don't-
is
I
asshole
don't think
tea
you
in it. Like,
believe
even the
It's
color
that
comes
much
from like
easier
Coke
now
or
to
something.
win
Don't it?
World
Like,
Cup.
Yeah,
it's
it
just
comes
it's
with
just
lemonade
loads
and
of
Coke
alcohol,
with
basically.
like
You're welcome.
4
We wanted to
different
give you a
shots in it.
handicap. We wanted to make it so that you guys take it. We don't want all the glory. Carry. A lot of people say, I don't.
See if
He
there's
looks
any-
wasted right now, mate.
retirement.
He looks
So
wasted.
what's the point of that? So
He looks like he would be played by
Your
Steve
metaphors.
Buscemi in a
Yeah,
90s
so, like,
independent
money-
movie.
Something that's Canadian.
yeah, no problem. But yeah, like saving money on Shyvana, like comes in to stand in front and act as meat shields because
As if they're actually
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about the game
What's
now.
your favorite
I
movie?
know.
I don't know.
After all that,
Die
you just at
Hard
the end talk about the
is
actual
pretty
game.
Say
Like, yeah, I was trying to like
yippee-ki-yay,
shield him
motherfucker
with
to sign
Siobhan.
out.
Like,
cool.
what are you
Motherfucker.
talking
Hold on.
about?
You gotta wait for the mic. Ready?
Here we go.
Oh. Oh. Do it. Oh, wait. Okay.
Yep. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
There it is. The John McClane odd one. If you change your name at Worlds to the John McClane, I will just hug you. Will you do that for me?
The Die Hard
What does that
reference.
even mean?
What else do you want from me?
I don't know. Can I get your hair? I want to be a
Just
ginger.
like a lock of
That's
my hair.
pretty
Do you want
funny.
the
He
whole?
said, "Can
You
I
want me
get
to
your
shave my
hair?
head
I
and
want to
go
be a
to you?
ginger." That's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I would
It's
be
just a good
ginger
line, isn't it?
too.
Okay, if your name is the John McClane at Worlds, I'll give you all of my hair. That's not binding. That's not binding. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. But that has been it with the Odd One. Drinks with the Odd One. Cheers to you. Cheers to your victory here. Thank you so much for the interview. And we'll see you
Fuck,
next
this
time.
is like 11 years old or something. It's pretty mad, though, isn't it? That's pretty wild.
That's so funny. I don't know, man. This is it does make me pine for the old years of esports where you could have some of these just outrageous interviews. And nobody got mad.
No,
You
of
just,
course not.
it's obviously super awkward and edgy, but it is what it is. And then Riot decided that we needed a professional circuit. So.
I mean, the other thing is, to be fair, back then as well, like most esports stuff never permeated beyond the esports like tiny little bubble. So whereas like now, because of like Twitch and live stream fails and all that crap, if you do anything now, it'll permeate to like general gaming culture, lifestyle thing. Maybe if you're unlucky, actual like real BBC or something like that. Like you also just wouldn't get in trouble with like sponsors in the same way back then. Like it wasn't like the end of the world. Whereas now, like obviously a tweet will just do you in completely, won't it? It'll be the end of the world. Like all that mad story recently where that guy like, did you see that one, Monte? I don't think we even talked about it on some insights. Who gave a fuck? You know that mad story where that player on like the Fnatic Academy team was like, "Oh, I'll just log into this other account and check out my Draven skin." Did you see this? And when he logged in, he's German, and the name of the account was like, no joke, like Hitler, whatever, and a bunch of numbers. It's like, and he claimed like, "Oh, that was just like a friend's account I logged into." It's like, bro. And he got fired immediately, like that day, like instantly, obviously.
I mean,
but,
how dumb can you be, though?
I know, but like when he logged in, even it's like, oh bloody hell! Man. Like,
Of course, this
why have you
happened.
done that? I know exactly. Like, why have you done that on camera?
Why?
I know. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.